Hello everyone, and welcome to another Cartoon Galaxy Rant. I'm Mars Moon, and I like to rant about cartoons. So, it comes as no surprise that yet again there is even more drama around the amazing digital circus. And it has to do with, yet again, the episode 9 release that is actually going to be released in theaters before the official release on YouTube and Netflix. Now, I had talked about that kind of issue way back when it was first announced. And if you're interested in listening to that, I will leave a link to that video in the description. But just to summarize real briefly, the initial drama surrounding that was fans being pretty annoyed that the episode 9 was going to be in theaters 2 weeks before the release of that same episode on the internet, on YouTube and on Netflix. And the main reason being because spoilers. If people see it in the theaters first, they're going to go online and probably spoil it for people who were not able to see it in the theater, which is completely understandable. But according to Glitch, it's meant to push the indie movement in a sense. It's kind of like a way to be like, look at what independent animation can do. And hell, this particular animation has gone a long way. It is popular all around the world. And for that matter, it is going to be in theaters all around the world. Though there has been one issue that did happen not too long ago, in fact. I did not actually address this in my prior video. I will address it briefly now before I get into the newer, fresher issue that just happened recently. But because of these theater releases, Glitch has also faced a lot of other problems in its process of doing all this. One of which actually is being hit with a lawsuit by South Korea. And that being, according to the distributor of the movie in South Korea, they're the ones that are going to be suing Glitch. And the reason is because Glitch had created a contract with them to have episode 9 of Digital Circus in their theaters. Now, obviously, if you have something in the theaters, you are going to advertise for it and let people in your area know that it's there. But once Glitch decided to back down, at least this is according to this company, you could imagine that all that money in advertising is pretty much going down the toilet at this point, because now the movie is not going to be in the South Korean theater. And if that is the case, and if that is true, then yes, it's completely understandable that this company wants to be reimbursed for all of the money that they spent advertising this film when Glitch had said, hey, we're going to have it in your theaters, and then decided to back out. As to why Glitch backed out, I guess is a mystery, but my guess is probably because of censorship issues. I know Glitch has mentioned that they didn't really want to censor things in the movie. They wanted it to be out there as it is. And that's also understandable, but there has to be an understanding that, truth be told, not every country is the same when it comes to censorship and what they will allow their audiences to see. Now, the newest thing has to do with a leak. But before I actually get into that, I do want to also give a quick reminder to please, if you get the chance, like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. I also do have a Patreon, since I do work on animations myself, and I post stuff with my animations on my Patreon. So if you'd like to support me there, that would be really great. You could check it out. The link will be in the description and also at the end of this video. And as for those of you who have been supportive all throughout the Cartoon Galaxy rants and everything that I've posted on Bizarre Moon, I do really appreciate your support. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel would be nothing. Okay, now back to the story. When it comes to leaks, this isn't really a new thing. Leaks seem to happen a lot. In fact, there was a leak not too long ago with Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I found out they did catch the person who leaked the Avatar: The Last Airbender film, And that person is actually going to be facing charges and jail time. Leaking films, shows, whatever it may be, is a huge crime. Maybe not as huge as killing someone, but it is still a huge crime because you're taking somebody's hard work, something that people are also depending on financially, and you are taking it as your own and putting it out there. It might be a similar case for the Amazing Digital Circus episode 9. So it turns out, after all the craziness that Glitch and the fans and everybody's been going through, the icing on the cake is that this frickin' episode got leaked. So much for going to the theater to see this thing and find out what actually happens, because now you could go online and just find out anyway. Not to say that that is probably the best thing to do. I know there's people who probably did it already, and you know what? It is what it is. So where did this thing get leaked? So the only information so far that has been released is that the leak had come from Brazil. As for who in particularly, that we will not know, but I have no doubt that they'll probably find out at some point. Like I said, if they found out who leaked the Avatar: The Last Airbender film, and that person is going to go to prison, they're probably going to find out who did it in Brazil. And we may find out that that person may also face prison time of some kind. But as of now, there hasn't been much information. I mean, if I do find out, maybe I'll do a video about it, or I'll just post it on my community posts. But that's all we really know. Now, how they could have gotten their hands on this, I mean, there's so many different ways. I know that people can hack into stuff, so that is a possibility. Another thing, but I'm not sure if this is the case, from something that I had read, I know Glitch had been very precautious about how they distributed the movie to certain theaters because of fears of leaks. One of which was not giving, I believe, hard copies through the mail to certain theaters because of that fear of, again, the film being leaked. So unless they changed their mind and did it anyway, that could be how the thing got leaked. Or, even if it was done through the internet in some way, all it had to do is fall in the wrong hands. And there you go. So what does this mean overall? Is this going to hurt the Amazing Digital Circus? I think that's the big question too, that is running through everyone's mind. And I would say a little bit of yes and a little bit of no, depending on how the fans treat the situation. And that goes for anything that gets leaked. So we can definitely say that it does now hurt the spectacle behind the whole release, because there was this excitement to see this episode on its given release dates. That spectacle is pretty much gone because it's out there and people know about it. And if there was fear of people putting spoilers on the internet about all this, well, there probably are spoilers out there now. I don't know how abundant they are, but I'm sure they're out there. So for those of you who don't want to know how things ended, be very careful where you go on the internet. Does it mean Digital Circus it just is doomed in some way? I mean, I don't think doomed is the word for it. I don't think this has destroyed the Digital Circus. I mean, the Digital Circus is ending anyway. The series is done. So I don't know how it's really going to be destroyed. It's not going to keep people from loving the franchise, that's for sure. And the thing that I think will really help the Digital Circus is, again, if people, regardless of whether they watch the leak or not, go and see this episode either in theaters or on the internet and still support the people behind it. And I think that that will make... Now, how does this affect Glitch? Are they going to feel it? The worst case scenario is if people decide that they don't want to see the episode in the theaters for whatever reason, or they decide to not watch it online because they already watched the leak. The only thing that could potentially hurt Glitch is financially. You know, we're talking probably less revenue from views and going to the theater to go see it. However, I doubt that's really going to make a big dent in anything. I'm sure if people already bought tickets to see this Digital Circus thing in the theater, I don't think they're going to ask for refunds just because a leak is out. I think they're just going to go see it. So I don't think it's really going to hurt Glitch either. And from my understanding, they already put a pilot out for a totally new show, which I'm glad. Actually, I had mentioned in my previous video about how I felt like they focused a lot on the amazing Digital Circus and not on other things. And I have lately seen them posting more about their other shows. So I am glad for that. And I am also glad they have another pilot out there that they're promoting. And if you want to support them and the people behind that new show, go check it out. So anyway, that's my take on it. It sucks, but life goes on. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Any thoughts that you have, make sure to leave in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care and peace out.